God, you are mindful of me. Okay, we need to say that together. God, you are mindful of me. Hello, Life Center family. It's Pastor Alex again. Hey, I just want to ask you a question. Have you ever the saying out of sight or out of mind, or maybe you even felt like that you were out of sight and out of mind? Just a thought, but let's talk about it for a minute. You know, David, the psalmist, he thought about something and he said it in Psalms. He said it in Psalms 8 and 4. And he says, "What is man that thou art mindful of him, and the Son of Man that you care for him?" You know, David was looking at the vast things of God because he said, "When I consider your heavens, when I consider your heavens, the work of your fingers." And David was saying, "Man, all of this magnificent stuff God has created and built," and then he said, "Just look at that mere man." And David said, "You're mindful of him." And you know, family, I want you to think about it is that have you been thinking that you may have been out of sight, or maybe you've been out of mind, or maybe you didn't get some phone calls, or you're just having a bad time? You know, Job even said that. Now, Job was saying his out of frustration because in Job 7:17 it says, Job said, "What is man that you make so much of him, that you give him so much attention, that you examine him every morning and test him every moment? Will you never look away from me or let me alone even for an instant?" Now, Job was in the midst of his frustration, and he realized that God always had his eyes on him. And David, the psalmist, out of the magnificence of God that he saw surrounding him, he was reminded that we are always on God's mind. God is mindful of us, and even of our frailties, and when we miss the mark, we're always on the mind and heart of God. So, family, listen, if you've been trying to allow yourself to think that you're forgotten, if people have made you think that way, and that could easily be done in our economy today. But the thing you must remember and cry out like the psalmist did is that, God, you are mindful of me. Okay? We need to say that together. God, you are mindful of me. And remember that you are on God's mind. You are important to him. Listen, if we go back and remember, and the psalmist always said that, "Lord, you created me in my mother's womb." Uh, that's how mindful you. You know something, Lord, you cared so much about me. You gave me my own individual, a fingerprint, my thumbprint, my voice print, my eye print. Everything is different. So you truly are mindful of me. You know, we appropriate by faith a lot of things. You know, so listen. Let's appropriate this week the mindfulness of God for us by faith. Let's wake up with declarations of God has us on his mind. And let us rejoice that it's the day that the God has made. Amen. We can rejoice in it, but let's also rejoice in and remember that God is mindful of us. And don't look at everybody else. Remember now, you've got your own fingerprint. If that be the case, then God is mindful of you as an individual. So I say to you to say, rejoice and be glad, because guess what? God is mindful of you. Hope you have a super, super week, and look forward to talking with you next time.